You're highly welcome. Yeah, thank you for coming once more again. Yes, we're happy to see you because the last time you were in your office, you made that commitment, and we're grateful to have you, ma. It shows the zeal and commitment that for this very great collaboration, ma. Thank you for coming. And to all of us, good morning once more again. Yes. So, ma, and to Mr. Goji, he has been doing a wonderful job with the remaining team. So I think for us, Lafia is a privilege for us, and I, I see it as a milestone for us to really see what we can do together to drive the state forward, looking at the huge gap uh, ongoing in the state and country. So how do we tackle our own challenges in the state? So Kaduna stands to be one of the most vulnerable states when it comes to insecurity. And if you look at the population of those orchestrating this act are youth. So how do we bridge that gap? And it has to be a deliberate effort to ensure that uh, such an initiative will be taken seriously, whether we like it or not. If you look at with our huge and young population, if you look at WHO statistics on youth in Nigeria, it's something else. Yes, thank God you forecasted it yesterday. We also it. What was the range like? The huge population of this country is from age 1 to 18, 0 to 17. So this is enough, just like the way the country itself is one of the major supplier of health workers out there in the country. So if we can use our expertise in doing banditry and kidnapping and convert it into security specialists, we can export security out there to the US. And this is what we failed to do, converting it to protect our territory, to, to even protect Africa. We have the human power, we have the strength, look at it, we have the population to cater for that. The biggest African country, the most populous. So, Kaduna has always been the driving force, a learning center for so many states. Yes, and I believe with your commitment, with your energy, with everything on deck, with the collaboration, um, it will be it will be a breakthrough for us to really see this happening. We as an organization, we have limited time to exist. So we are using every possible opportunity and time to see what we can do together and achieve it within the shortest period of time. So for Lafia, we've discussed about some of our commitment. I think the next thing that we may look into is going for the development of the implementation. That should be the next thing because that's where it will give us direction where what we are going to achieve. And before we could now see from that, it will now create more of the next step for us to look at. It will create more activities for us to look into it. Then from there, we can now move it on. But most especially is the advocacy that matters a lot. Yes, the advocacy and the sensitization, because not many of us are aware of what is called demography. That's a huge challenge. Yes. So if we loud it to the public, loud it to the government, loud it to the citizens of Kaduna, that this is it. This is a challenge that we allowed it to lie low. How do we start addressing it from the grassroots? I think it will help us a long way. So once again, I must congratulate all of us for the some. It may interest you to know that some of these activities, in order for us to get some left this hall by 11. Yes, because it's just 2 days. This is the last day, man. So we're not here to play, or we're not here to just take tea break and move. We have to show our commitment as well, ma. And we are assuring you that this document will reach your table. And thank you for raising this occasion once more. And we hope to complete these activities in a good energy and tempo. Thank you for coming once more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chanam from Lafia. So I think we'll hand over to the Honorable Commissioner to give us our welcome remarks and every other remarks from there on. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm so excited to be here. I'm so happy to see young people being this committed to a cause that is important to all of us. When some of you came to my office for the advocacy visit, I told you that I just heard of this document a few weeks or days before your coming. And I realized how important the document is, not just to the young people, but to the stages and the state at large. And I want to thank the LAFIA and the UK Aid and all the partners that have made this document a success. Thank you so much. And also for all the groups that are here today to ensure that there's a push that this document becomes public and becomes beneficial to the youths of Kaduna State. Now, one of the things that we're trying to do in the ministry, I say trying because we just started, and we're trying to see that this document in particular gets as much audience as it needs and as much publicity as necessary. When His Excellency, the Governor of Kaduna State, created the Ministry of Youth, and the mandate was given to us, and I compared the mandate of the Uni Ministry and this document, I found out that it was the same thing. So when I discovered the document, I said, this is our mandate. This is the same as what we are asked to do in the ministry, and it shows how important the youth are. The youth actually have been in the back burner until now. So we're also grateful to His Excellency for acknowledging the presence of the youths of the state and acknowledging their importance. Okay, Mr. Goje mentioned the budget and how much we want in it. I wish we had this before the budget came. Yes, because the budget was a rush for us in the ministry because one, we are new. So we had just a few youth officers, and three, we were struggling to link up with people who knew what needed to be done. And unfortunately, the linking up came at the point of the budget. So we did the little we could do in our wisdom, and afterwards found out that it's not going to be enough. And I spoke with the Commission of Budgets. But yesterday we had the executive council meeting with His Excellency, and he was shouting. He was like, "Youth, is this what you have in the budget?" I said, "Yes, sir." And I spoke with the commissioner, and he said, "No, we shouldn't worry. Whatever we need to do for the youths of Kaduna State, we'll find a way around it because there's already a ministry on ground. It's to show you how important the youths are. That even if we didn't do as much as we should have done, because we had a lot of limitations. We had a lot of limitations. We are still trying to get our bearing. So we might actually exceed what we have on the budget with the help of the partners and with your help also. Um, Concerning data, in fact, we are planning to do, I'm going to give you people work before you leave this place. I know you already have much work. We're trying to get youth data for Kaduna State. so that it will be a document. I'm hoping we get that before the end of. I'll be discussing with the SG of the state, and I will want your input on the indices we need for the youth data of Kaduna State. I need, but that memo is going out this week. So I will need your input before the end of this sitting so that it will also be captured in the memo. If we had had this sitting before now, we would have had a more robust document, a more robust budget document. So when we get that, I realize that data is very important to whatever we will need to do, especially as youths. So that's one of the first thing I want to push. We have youth data, all the necessary indices for youth data of Kaduna State that will be captured so that we can use it and present it wherever we go. Government policies and programs. Before that, the money spent before the ministry started, actually, we cannot backtrack for that. Probably it was spent for something little, but hopefully from now henceforth, whatever will be spent will be open, will be transparent, and will be impactful. That's what we're hoping for going forward. Whatever funds the government or partners create for provide for the ministry, there'll be a transparency in spending, and there'll be a visible impact to the youth of the state. And for these demographic dividends roadmap, we the ministry has already started. After this meeting, the next thing we are doing, because like I said, many people are not aware of it, next thing we are doing, hopefully by tomorrow, is to do a step down for the staff of the Ministry of Youth Development. Because sometimes when we start talking about the DDRM, people will be looking at me and like, what are you talking about? So we're planning on having a step down before the end of this week, hopefully by tomorrow, for the ministry. And after the step down, we intend to escalate it or to repopulate, to escalate it and to do a lot of sensitization so that people will be aware of the document and how impactful the documents will be. We also plan on getting, is it ambassadors? We will repopulate it and step it down, scale it down throughout the local governments. Now, we're going to have a little bit of challenge doing this, but I'm hoping with the groups here, it's not going to be so much of a challenge because of our staff strength. Our staff strength, because I'm trying to be realistic. I cannot give you what we can give. Our staff strength in the ministry is not as it should be. Government is working towards that. But I'm hoping that when we'll work together with you as a group to push forward this document, we're able to scale it down even to the local governments and towards, because that's what the ministry will want to do. But if we depend on just our manpower, it's going to take longer. But when we put forces together, we're going to be able to do it as quickly as possible. And I think it is important we have that done as quickly as possible. You know, the youths, the youths are facing a lot of insecurity. And the insecurity is not just banditry. We have different types of insecurity: health, economic, financial, security and peace, social, mental health, and so on and so forth. But I believe that with the coming up of this document, we'll be able to tackle some of these things and we'll be able to give our bits to the society so that some of this insecurity will no longer be a challenge. It will no longer be insurmountable. It will be something that we know we can overcome. And we can also help others to overcome it. And I hope that going forward, those that are coming out of this meeting will become our youth officers for the pushing of these documents. Like I said, the staff of the Ministry of Youth will not be able to push it as far as we want now and as quickly as possible. So I'm hoping that all of you here will become our ambassadors and our officers. And when we call upon you and say we want this done here, we will have you, have your buy-in, and then we'll be able to together work towards the implementation of this document, because the DDRM is very important to the youths and to the states. And like yesterday, we had a meeting and somebody mentioned to us that Kaduna is the center of learning. In fact, His Excellency kept emphasizing that Kaduna State is usually the first. Kaduna State is usually the first. And if we're able to push this document and implement it and make it, adopt it as us, and make it work for us. You know, a document is only a document until you're able to have it work for you. Until we're able to have this document work for us, we'll be able to see results. And then other states will be interested in coming in to learn from us and see how we are doing it. So once again, I want to say thank you to all of you. Uh, I haven't been able to come. I wasn't able to come yesterday because of the council meeting, and I have another meeting again around 12. But my staff are here, and then I'm thinking I've brought all of you, brought you into the into the youth ministry. So thank you so much. Thank you for what you're doing. Latvia, thank you. Mr. Goji, where is Mr. Goji? Thank you so much, all of you. I appreciate your being here. And I trust that whatever you come up with from the technical session, we will be able to work with it and we'll be able to drive it forward. So don't forget my assignments. Yes, please don't forget. So thank you so much. And on behalf of the government of Kaduna State, we appreciate all of you. God bless you and thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner. And one thing we do very well in the civil society is when government officials talk, we are just looking for the one we use and hold you accountable. So be sure that we have picked the ones that we have picked so that we'll quote you and
And
follow.
don't forget, we are all going to be accountable for this because
Yes.
I'm ready.
Yes. Yes. All right.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner. We know you have very limited time. We're supposed to do a recap of yesterday by the participants. And so maybe we'll take that session for briefly before we move to the next component. Although since you are here, we talked about, yes, we'll do a group photograph before you leave, and probably the media people want to also interact with you before leaving. And so, but one thing we are also happy to partner with the ministries around simplifying this demographic dividend document. We have a simplified draft which we have shared, and we'll still look at it to see how that can be done. Because to be frank, 60 pages, 102 pages, a lot of our young people will not read it. So that is just the reality. Then for next week, with Lafia again, they supported a media, they are supporting a media advocacy dialogue. But basically, we'll have a few of our media, conventional media partners, but majority of them will be youth content creators. Because when we were looking at their pages, some of them were shocked that in Kaduna we had content creators that had about 1.5, 1.6 million followers. with over 10 million likes on TikTok and all of that. So it is only logical that if we want to connect to the real beneficiaries of these documents, we have to communicate to them through channels and languages that they understand far better. So we are hoping that that will happen by next week, so that this message, gospel of DDR, would go to all the people that need to be. And we have other people we are bringing, even spoken words artists, a lot of people that can really channel this message to where we want to see them happen. So we'll take the recap quickly, maybe 10 minutes. It's good that the commissioner also hear from the people that are developing the strategy, because ours is just to facilitate that process. They are the owners of that document. Then afterwards, we'll take a presentation on, we want to do advocacy briefs where there are 5 areas. We want for every area develop an advocacy brief, which will be the tool that will be presented whenever advocacy visits are going to be carried out, because we are taking it everywhere. We are also trying to plead with partners to see how do we get local government chairmen also committed to this. And we believe that your ministry will play a leading role, because we also track the budgets of local governments and we see the areas that they channel their budgets and all of that. So how do we ensure that they also contribute to these investments around the demographic dividends, and your ministry